How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? It is the day of another day. Of another day that we call Wednesday. And it would have been said, what's going on, people? Hopefully everybody's doing everything as far as being productive in their life and living, and doing everything as far as prosperity. Yesterday I went to the doctor in Jersey City. You know, like I said before, it's a little difficult trying to find a doctor that treats transgender people or, you know, people in general as far as in the LGBT, but basically the transgender people. And someone had mentioned to me that there was a shortage of estrogen. So I found out yesterday from the doctor, transgender women are facing a devastating medical crisis and no one is talking about it. And basically, the injectable estrogen shortage is in the United States. Synthetic estrogen, you know, the needles basically, you know, you do the shots and stuff, you know, from the estrogen. Become, but it says it's just the transgender women, there's not the trans men, basically, from what I'm hearing, you know, so far. So, you know, someone asked me to look into it and stuff, and as of today, I'm looking into it now. This has been going on since September, so I don't know if anybody knew about this, but I'll bring it to your attention as of now. Just in case you don't know, I'm going to shoot the video so you get an idea exactly what's going on. So basically, you know what to do in reference to this situation that we are in. And it's amazing because it only happened in the United States. Okay? Check this out.
So, I actually don't have a timeline. I apologize for that, but from my memory, it was about 2 months ago that this has been going on. So at Callan Lord, we found out really very suddenly. So for us, what happened was we stopped receiving any 40 milligram per milliliter dosage first, and that was, I would estimate, about 6 months ago or so, maybe even 8 months ago. And then we started getting 20 milligram per milliliter, and we really didn't have any explanation for why that was happening. We were told it was a manufacturing issue and that it would be back, but it did not come back. And then very, very suddenly, the 20 milligram per milliliter stopped being available. We found out about it, and then it was like suddenly we could not get it. And that was the pharmacy and the clinic. We actually have different distributors for the pharmacy and for the clinic, and it happened at the same time. We were not able to get it. So then we started getting very worried, and we started kind of calling around and trying to find out information. There's really not a lot of information to be had right away, and you know, we were told at that time that it would maybe be September is what we first heard, and then we heard October, and the latest that I have heard is that it's fall or winter or fourth quarter of 2016. But nobody can say like exactly what that means. And so Kimberly Smith, I don't know Kim's exact title, but she basically does advocacy for Callan Lord. And so she contacted this company called Endo. It's the parent company of PAR, which makes the is it the generic or the, sorry,
They make the brand name.
The
brand name,
right,
yeah.
right. And what they said was that one of the ingredients, the manufacturer stopped making one of the ingredients. We don't know if it's actually the estrogen or another ingredient that's in the formulation. That's unavailable, that information, but they had to get a different company to make the actual ingredient. And so they have said that they have manufactured already the 3 strengths, 10 milligram, 20 milligram, and 40 milligram, but that they're being held from releasing it by the FDA because they need FDA approval because they put a new ingredient in it. So that's the latest that I have heard and that I know. So we can go from that as to like what we think we should do. My personal opinion is trying to find out or pressure the FDA to accelerate that process. And I was also told, and I don't know if this is true, that there are not a lot of people who are doing the work in the FDA to do these approvals. Like there's 5 or 6 people in the whole country, and that's a really scarce resource. So I think, personally, I think, one thing we could do is try to put pressure so that that process gets speeded up, because this is obviously a really crucial thing that needs to happen. It's not okay that there's absolutely no injectable estrogen on the market. So that's what I know. But oh yes, thanks. I'm not a good public speaker, so I apologize. I forget things.
We're doing all right.
So we also did a sign-on letter, and that's in the back. And please do sign on to it. It is for both PAR and Perigo, who are the 2 manufacturers of the brand name and generic estrogen, which at this time, neither of those companies is making injectable estrogen. So the sign-on letter is specifically about the 40 milligram per milliliter, because that's the one that's been out of stock for longest and the one that most people use, although not everybody, obviously. And so we wanted to put some pressure on them to manufacture it. But I think with this new information about the FDA, I think that's another direction we can go in. But this is a place to start to try to put some pressure on them to get that moving.
Mm-hmm. So Asa, you said earlier you can give a little bit about alternative and what that may look like. Do you mind sharing with the folks?
Yeah, so obviously it's quite important. We don't want anyone to go without their hormones if folks are on hormones. So, people might feel that it's possible to go out and get it maybe outside of a pharmacy setting, and I just wanted to give you a caution about that, because I have had some clients get injectable something out, from somewhere I don't even know, and were actually injected with something that wasn't estrogen. So I think, you have to be really careful if you're getting estrogen, that you know where it comes from. I'm sure some people have stocks of the vials, but, definitely not to go somewhere where you possibly don't know the person or trust where it's coming from. There are other alternatives. I mean, the estrogen also comes in a tablet form, and it also comes in a patch form. So a patch is like a sticky, almost like a Band-Aid, right? That actually has the estrogen in it, and it's slow release. So there you can kind of convert. Like if you're used to taking the 40 milligrams, like a 1 cc every 2 weeks, that's kind of roughly equivalent to about 8 milligrams of the tablet, and and doubling up on patches. So there are equivalents, and we do have some information on that, I believe, in the back as well. And those are still in stock, right? You can still get estrogen tablets in the pharmacy, and you can still get patches. I know it's not ideal, because if you're used to using a particular type of estrogen, you probably want to continue that. But it's definitely better than kind of just stopping and being on nothing, or injecting with something that you don't know where it's from. So those are just like right. And there's also compounding. Thank you. So there are some pharmacies that will, they're called compounding pharmacies, like Strohecker's, for example.
Yep.
And I think we have names of some others, that will actually formulate injectable estrogen. It's the same strength. They can make the 40 milligrams. Unfortunately, because it's not through a traditional pharmacy, a commercial pharmacy, it will not be paid for by insurance. But it is possible to pay for it out of pocket.
Okay, you see that? So basically she's letting you know that, basically you can still use the pills or the patches and stuff, but, but as far as the shots and stuff, it's still up in the air because the FDA has to approve it. They said there's some extra inside of there that they're questioning about it, so that's why it hasn't been approved. So, basically, from what I'm hearing, that there's other places and stuff that's still giving out shots and stuff, but they're not really shipping any more into the United States, allegedly. That's what's being said. So, I just wanted to give you an idea of what's going on in reference to the estrogen shortage. And I went to the doctor in Jersey City and stuff, and he informed me that, yes, it is a shortage that's going on, and they're trying to find out what's going on, and it hasn't been, new estrogen as far as the shots hasn't been brought over to the United States as of yet. And they're fighting back and forth trying to find out why is this happening, what is going on, which I just told you, in reference to that, why is it happening, because it's a new ingredient that's inside of it that they haven't approved it yet. It's like allegedly they only have 5 people that's working inside of the FDA that's treating this type of thing. So hopefully we'll get past this, it'll pass and stuff, but in the meantime you still can take the pills. The pills are just as effective as I talked to the doctor and stuff. Just take 2 pills instead of just 1, a day and stuff. But it's always easy to just go to the doctor and stuff, because basically, yes, I went and did blood work and methods to, get back on hormones and stuff. I got my prescription filled, but I haven't picked them up as well. But it's just something to think about. So just in case you're like, oh my God, they're not going to be any more shots. It's not that it's not going to be any more shots. So don't think of that. You still have pills you still could take. I know the pills are not as effectively as far as your mind as you're thinking, but your body's going to absorb it the same way, and you also have the patches and stuff, but you just have to work through it. That's all I'm going to tell you. I know sometimes change is hard for some people because they don't feel as though it's effective and it doesn't move the same way, and you have that right, but in the meantime, just options to bear as far as, you still take your estrogen. Anyway, that being said, I just want to share it with you, and I want you to know I love you, and I want to thank you for watching. Catch the read.